Hello, I'm Jose Arturo Molina Mora. I'm a researcher at the University of Costa Rica, and today I'm going to talk about the 3C criterion, contiguity, completeness, and correctness to assess de novo genome assemblies.
To study this criterion, we benchmark assemblers for Pseudomonas aeruginosa strains AG1, C25, and C50. As we know, when we try to assemble a genome using a de novo strategy, we first need to extract the DNA. Then we prepare libraries, which includes fragmentation and adapters adding. Then we sequence each fragment, and we have the information for all the fragment, the reads. And then we try to assemble the context using the overlap between the sequences, and if necessary, we can have a scaffolding step in which we use a reference genome. And in a perfect world, we can obtain the desired or the expected sequence. To make this possible, we use different graph theory algorithms to find the overlap between reads and then to assemble the context and the scaffolds. However, this is an open problem in bioinformatics, which depends on the genome complexity, including the number of chromosomes, the size, accessory elements such as plasmids, or repeat content. Also, we have different DNA sequencing technologies, and they have different performance regarding error rate, the ability to solve repetitive regions, and others. And also depends on assembly algorithms, assemblers that you are using, and some of them include the ability to solve a specific feature that we have in prokaryotic or eukaryotic models. Then, how do we select the best assembly? You can consider different metrics. There are a lot of criteria, including the number of fragments that you have in the final assembly, and we can refer to this as contiguity. You can also evaluate the fidelity or the accuracy that you have in the assembly in comparison to the real sequence, and we can refer this to correctness. And you can also, when you have the assembly, you can evaluate the ability of the assembler to reveal core genes, expected genes that you must have in the genome, and we can refer to this as completeness. So recently we proposed integrative evaluation of the assemblies using the 3C criterion, using different metrics related to contiguity, correctness, and completeness. In our previous work, we defined the 3C criterion, and we used Pseudomonas aeruginosa AG1 as model, a high-risk, multi-resistant strain from Costa Rica. And when we evaluated the genome, we found more than 1 megabyte of sequence in comparison to the reference genome. In this way, a de novo assembly was preferred, and we used sequencing using Illumina for short reads and Oxford Nanopore for long reads. And then we benchmarked 13 different approaches, hybrid and non-hybrid, and the final selection was done using the 3C criterion, and the winner was hybrid unicellular. But now we have information of other strains of Pseudomonas aeruginosa. Now we have strain C25 and C50. Both are clones from Pseudomonas aeruginosa AG1, growing in a high ciprofloxacin concentration. Both have similar profile to AG1 at phenotypic level, And we have information of the genome using Illumina and Oxford nanopore sequencing. And the consensus sequence was obtained using a mapping strategy using AG1 as reference. To benchmark different assemblies for each strain, we implemented 12 different approaches of the genome assembly. Some of them were specific for short-reach models or long-reach model, and some of them for hybrid models. Of course, we implemented different steps for quality control, parameters optimization, and genome annotation using Proca. Then we evaluated the assemblers using metrics of contiguity, including the number of fragments, M50, NG50, and others. The correctness by comparing the assembly against the reference, and completeness was evaluated using or assessing the ability of the different algorithms to assemble core genes. And also we used the information of the genome annotation. Then we compare all the assemblies using first the gene content using Rory, and then using a clustering approach to compare all the metrics. And of course we used other many tools to make this possible. Now we have the results. When we compare all the assemblers for each strain, we found that most of the assemblers had a similar total size in the assembly. An exception is for unicycler for long reach only approaches, and this feature is consistent not only for AG1 but also for C25 and C50, as we can see here. The values for N50 and MG50 are similar for most of the assemblers in all the cases. Here we have the comparison of all the assemblers for C25, in which we can identify specific regions that were not well assembled by the algorithms, in particular for short reach only approaches, or for the purple one for IDVA in a hybrid mode. This is explained by the ability to solve the graph. For example, here we have the case of short reach only approach for spades using Illumina data with a very complex graph. This contrasts with the result for long reach only mode with a few pieces, but in the case of Canu, only one piece, but not circular, which contrasts with the value or the expected assembly, a single circular sequence for C25. Now we are going to compare all the assemblers using different metrics related to contiguity, correctness, and completeness, the 3C criterion, for the case of C25 strain. Although we have several metrics, I'm going to focus on some of them. For example, at context level, the number of fragments and the N50 metrics. For these cases, the best values were obtained for long reach only and hybrid approaches, which contrast with the values for short reach only approaches. When we compare assemblers using scaffolds, few fragments were obtained for all the cases, with the very well values for NG50 metric. In general, we say that best contiguity metrics were obtained for long reach and hybrid approaches. Regarding correctness, when we evaluated mismatches and needles, best values were obtained for short reads-only approaches and hybrid approaches, but not for long reads-only approaches, which are known to have high error rates. A similar pattern was found for completeness metrics. We evaluated the ability of the assemblers to identify 40 core genes. Short reads-only assemblers and hybrid approaches were able to assemble the 40 core genes without problems, as we can see here. However, it was not the same for long reads-only approaches, in which gene splitting and some lost genes were identified. Together, this affected the completeness score for long reads-only approaches. Finally, we compare genome annotation results for all the assemblers. And in particular, for long reads-only approaches, we were able to identify that coding sequences were 1.5 times the values for short reads-only and hybrid approaches, as we can see here. We investigated in detail and we realized that the values of the mean length of coding sequences for short reads-only and hybrid approaches were similar to the values for curated genomes of Pseudomonas aeruginosa, contrasting with the results for long reads-only approaches around 600 base pairs for mean length of coding sequences. Taking all together, the best values for contiguity, correctness, and completeness were obtained for hybrid approaches, and specific values were obtained for each of the short reads-only and long reads-only approaches. An obsession for this, in the case of the hybrid models, was IDVA in the hybrid mode, in which the contiguity values were similar to short reads-only approaches. A similar pattern regarding the 3C matrix and the behavior of all the assembler was obtained for the other two strains. As we can see here, a similar pattern was obtained for C50 strain and also for AG1. Here we have the comparison of all the assemblers using a pan-genome approach with Rory. But we are using the same strain with different assemblies, so we call it pan-assembly analysis. We were able to identify a specific cluster for all the long reads-only approaches, in which we have specific elements, as we can identify here. In total, for all the assemblies, we found more than 4,000 genes. The core genes, all the genes that were identified for all the assemblers. And this variation for long reads-only approaches is explained by the gene splitting that we identified previously. The same results were obtained for the case of AG1 and C50, in which a specific cluster for long reads-only approaches were obtained with gene splitting, as we can see here. In summary, we have different results depending on the matrix or the analysis that you are using to compare all the assemblers. In order to compare all the approaches against the reference genome, we implemented a clustering analysis using all the metrics of contiguity, correctness, and completeness. And here we have the results for AG1, in which a specific group was identified for the final assembly or the reference genome in green with unicycler and spade but with a hybrid mode. In fact, unicycler has space as internal algorithm. Then we have another cluster for long reads only approaches and a specific group for all the cases of short reads only approaches, but including the case of ADVA in a hybrid mode, as it was discussed before, in which different metrics were similar to short reads only approaches. A similar composition of the cluster was found for C25 that we can find here, the final assembly, unicycler and spades, and the other groups with long reads and short reads. And basically the same for C50 as we have here. In conclusion, we had different performance for all the assemblers depending on the DNA sequencing technology and the metrics that we use to compare. For short reads only, we found high correctness and completeness, but limited contiguity, contrasting with the values for long reads only approaches with high contiguity but limited completeness and correctness. For these cases, we also identified gene fragmentation, and further analysis are required to study this phenomenon in other genomes that have been assembled in a similar way. In general, we consider that hybrid models are the winners, being the exception the case for ADVA in a hybrid mode, in which the metrics resulted similar to short reads only approaches. This strategy was implemented using the 3C criterion, in which we evaluated contiguity, completeness, and correctness. And this criterion needs to be evaluated in other benchmark strategies using other genomes. Finally, I would like to thank Mother's Group at the University of Coruña, Spain, and Human Phenome Institute in Shanghai, China, for all the time that I spent with them, making possible part of the bioinformatic analysis for this and other projects.
Thank you so much for your attention, and I'm waiting for your questions.